Hi everyone, welcome back to Shining Empathy. My name is Joel, and this is your full moon reading for Tuesday, April the 11th, 2017. I did want to touch on one thing before we get into the reading. I like to use this space just to kind of touch on anything that might have happened in between my last video and now. We were kind of smashed, clobbered even with a geomagnetic storm last week, I think, where we were able to see in parts of the world that wouldn't normally be able to see this time of year, the Aurora Borealis, which, you know, is really cool. I don't think we had, I think it was during that time we had a lot of rain here, so I didn't get an opportunity to even really get to look at that. But that wasn't really the key point. That geomagnetic storm caused a lot of stuff to move and happen with me personally, energetically, and from the people I've talked to and am connected to, a lot of stuff going on with them. A lot of third eye stuff, a lot of heart stuff, especially the heart and stomach relationship. Just a lot of block moving and stuff that had kind of been really brought to the surface with this turbulent energy that we were just kind of getting clobbered with. So if you've had a kind of, especially last week, if you had a really turbulent week last week, don't be surprised. Maybe even some, like I personally, I got a migraine last week. We're literally like, I get the visual migraines. I think they're called ocular migraines, where I actually lose vision. Like it looks like a sunspot at first, and that eventually moves into a tear, and it's just like this like moving out of like light and color, and it's like a giant aurora effect unto itself. And funny enough, it was like that exact same day that we would normally have, the same day that we were supposed to look out and try and see the Aurora Borealis. Well, here I was having it right in my eye, essentially, which was just really kind of cool, and also just really like, oh crap. So I ended up dealing with that, and a lot of stuff that after that, a lot of really kind of icky feelings and stuff that really just surfaced for several days afterwards that I just really had to like really sort through. So if you guys went through something similar, I just wanted to bring up that event took place last week, so don't be surprised if stuff was going on, if there was more turbulence, more stormy weather in terms of your emotional landscape, energetically, than normal. All right, so let's get into the reading. Pre-shuffled the cards, so I don't think they want to be shuffled very much right there. So I'm going to tilt you down here. Right there should be good. Okay, so some interesting cards this week. So this is for the full moon, and sorry, I usually would brush up a little bit on this beforehand. The full moon has to do with things kind of coming to a close or a peak. This isn't about creating new intentions. The new moons tend to be about literally new beginnings, whereas this is the crescendo of the energy, like all that we've put into it, and after this now we can kind of sort of reflect on what it is that we've done. So what the cards are saying right here, that we're all centering around, is the role of the healer. I see us actually just all kind of embodying more of the role of the healer, either more of a healing ourselves, like literally having to do more self-care and be our own healer, or actually just embodying the role more with other people, be it in a caretaker way, teacher, maybe even through some sort of energy or physical therapy, whatever it is, but we're embodying the role of the healer more for this full moon. I would actually go as far as to say that the universe is what it's throwing at us is kind of getting us to step up and embody that. Patience on top of that. I get the vibe that this has to do with what I've talked about in terms of the turbulence and stuff that's been going on, maybe the stuff that's forcing us to be in this role. Patience, everything kind of will pass. Anything you're going through right now, everything is temporary. I'm sure we've all heard the old expression, this too shall pass. So just have some patience with it, patience with yourself, with the situation, and things will change up. So this man is the direct influence of this week. He is teacher. He is very strongly, and even one might say obsessively focused, singularly focused. Whether he's a person or he's us embodying that, it sounds like we're all taking some direct action in whatever it is we needed to do this week. And maybe that's directly related to the healing, the role of the healer I talked about here. But direct action came as a result of him. So maybe we're all very, very focused on something for this full moon, and we were like, you know what, it's time to act. I know for me personally, definitely the last couple of days have been a time of absolutely direct action on certain things that I wouldn't normally have been into or motivated to do, but for whatever reason, this full moon, bam, all the energy was there. And our growth spot this week is Journey. Journey can be about a physical move. Maybe some of you are getting ready to move or have just finished a move and maybe settling into it, or thinking about moving. It could also be planning for a trip. One of the other kind of definitions that's come out of this card recently too is moving work locations. And I don't just mean like I've quit work here and I'm going to go work over here now. It's kind of like if you're a trade, okay, and you pick up your tools and you go somewhere that you've never been before. That could absolutely be Journey as well, because Journey kind of talks about going to the places that we haven't been before. Whether that's on an actual vacation, moving to a new place, or new workplace. It's definitely about going somewhere new. And I feel like this week maybe a lot of us are being challenged to pick up our trade, if we're in the trade, and venture into a new environment with it. A new arena, as it were. And the reason why this journey is taking place is because we're out of balance. We need more balance in those areas. So maybe we've been somewhere for too long. Maybe we've been stagnating a little bit and just sort of been maybe even just straight up stuck in something, and it's time to make a change or see new horizons, whatever. But Angel of Balance is letting us know that the reason this is happening, that this journey is happening, is because we need balance, all right? In our problem or challenge area for this full moon is the Garden and the Gate. Now, interestingly enough, if this card just came up on its own, it's about kind of not really feeling safe to venture outside of your comfort zone. It's about the sanctuaries that we create for ourselves that are very important. We need to feel safe. We need to set up those sanctuaries for ourselves so that we can feel safe. The problem is if we never ever step outside of those sanctuaries, we don't really see much of the world. We don't gain any new experiences. We don't really live, right? We just sort of stay kind of hidden and trapped in our little sanctuary. But we have the key and we can open that gate at any time. Right now we are being asked to step outside of our comfort zone, and it looks like we are greatly challenged to do so. Even though we're taking direct action somewhere, we're still having a hard time with stepping outside of our comfort zone for some reason. And it's because we don't have the confidence in what it is that we're moving towards. The woman holding coin is, like I said, confident, stable, secure. She's very sure of herself. And these are the qualities, it seems, that we are lacking, and one of the reasons why we can't move forward there, okay? So try to find that in yourself. I would say, this card has actually come up today as well. You need to believe in yourself. People don't just magically have these qualities because they're just endowed with them. They believe in themselves, and that's all it takes, is to believe in yourself and to think something of yourself and for it to be true. Something else that's kind of come up today is that you will never be more than you are if you never do something else. So what I mean by that is if all you do is the same routine, you just get up and go to work and do the same job and you do the same routine at home, you never really talk to anyone new or go anywhere new, you're never going to be more than you are. And if you're scared about, like, if you want to do something, like you want to go out and teach, or if you want to go out into the world and see something, like there's a place that you've always wanted to go, but you're scared to do it because, you know, you don't like traveling, or, you know, you just have anxiety around airport security, whatever scenario it is that it might be. Those qualities only come from when we believe in ourselves, and essentially until we do it, we cannot really embody it, right? So the idea is you have to actually put yourself in the position to become something more, to actually get those qualities. All right, so you just kind of got to do it. If you're sitting around and waiting for these things to happen, it may never happen. You just kind of have to push yourself a little bit and just believe in yourself, all right? Have faith that regardless of what happens, even if everything goes topsy-turvy on you, that the experience was a worthy experience and taught you something, okay? Now, in our opportunity spot, there's an opportunity for strength here. Angel of Strength comes up when we sort of get in touch with a strength that we have that maybe we didn't even realize we had. All right, so we are walking away from something. There's some interesting energy happening with this full moon that I wouldn't normally see. Walking away is a card that would normally be coming up in the challenge spot, and on top of the sanctuary, the garden, and the gate card, I do find them a little bit, they can be sort of contradicting in a way, but it seems like we don't have a problem with the idea of walking away from something right now, whatever it is that's no longer serving us. We're tapping into a strength right now that we didn't even necessarily realize was there, and we're walking away. Maybe we're not even looking back, but we are definitely being guided towards something else right now, okay? And we are feeling that strength. So there's an opportunity for that right now with this full moon. All right, in our strength spot, crown chakra. So crown chakra is very intellect, logic, clear thinking. It can also be very intuitive in that regard, very connected to higher self, what you want, what you need, your higher self needs, kind of, right? Let's have a look here. So it sounds like we're actually going through some, alongside that, some very polarizing things happening here. So strength in the root chakra and strength in the crown chakra this week for the full moon. So I think that's maybe why we're feeling the ability to maybe walk away. And maybe one of the only reasons why, if we can't get out of our safe zone, it's just confidence holding us back. It's not because we're scared necessarily. It's just literally we want to feel confident and sure of ourselves, right? We're not so scared to do it anymore. And I think that's also why direct action has come up here this week too. We are feeling our ground. We are feeling more of the security and safety of our root chakra. And alongside of that, the crown chakra is playing its strengths as well this week. We are able to think clearly. We are able to perceive clearly. Well, perceive would be more third eye, but perceive logically, I guess, is kind of what I mean, intellectually. We're able to tap into those qualities for our strengths this week and really use them to our benefits, use them to our advantage. Now, the interesting thing in this entire spread is the deceit card coming up in our fruits of our labor. Sort of like the outcome, but don't think of outcome as in a future event taking place. The way that this unfolds isn't necessarily in a time linear fashion, right? So this just means that what this is all sort of moving towards. And maybe it's already happening simultaneously, right? So deceit. Deceit can often be, when this card comes up, I find more often than not it means self-deceit. It can mean that someone is deceiving you and that you're going to have to deal with some trust issues around someone right now because you are being maybe played fool a little bit. But it sounds more like when this card comes up, we're playing ourselves the fool. We are not being true to ourselves. We are lying to ourselves about something. And it looks like we are not being, it looks like we're deceiving ourselves about what we think we know of the world, about our perspective. We need a bigger perspective. We need to actually step back and gain the real picture. We think we know it, but we're not actually seeing it. So we need a new perspective, a new shift on things. And I think that's why a lot of these things are happening, because we need that shift in perspective. We have been maybe lying to ourselves just a little bit too long about what we think we know, want, need, whatever. And maybe because, you know, Crown's really strong with this full moon, we're getting in touch with our higher selves and what we really truly need for spiritual growth in our journey. This deceit, which is connected to that, isn't, we're not allowing ourselves to be fooled by it anymore. We're not necessarily playing into that role because we want to see the truth. We want to step back and see the world and our situation for what it really is. You know, we're not sitting there, we're kind of done with sitting here and saying the world is flat. We want to step back and go, what is the world really? Is it round? Is it a sphere? We want to be able to step back and with the same kind of application with our own environment, with our own lives, do that very thing. Okay? So, bigger perspective, all right? And better perspective. I would say a truer perspective on things. Now, let's see what the final message from Spirit is for us for a full moon. Adjacent possibilities. I look at this as just sort of doors flying open everywhere. We suddenly feel, see and feel our potential for what we can do. We don't label ourselves and attach ourselves to any one thing. We suddenly feel like, hey, I can do this, and I can do this, and I can do this. We feel the possibilities all around us, and we know all we have to do is just open a door and walk through it, and we can pursue it. We can also come back to this room of adjacent possibilities anytime we want and try a different door. So when we're in this place of adjacent possibilities, it can be very empowering just to stand in this room because we feel all the different potential, which is just, it's just a very empowering place to kind of be in. But it sounds like we're kind of pushing towards going through one of these doors. We think we're all feeling, I want to go this way. And the energy is really, really moving, okay? So, and I think the energy has been working up towards that with the full moon. From the new moon up until now, I feel like the new moon is just with that kind of, like I said, the crescendo of energy that's coming in with this full moon. I feel like we're just getting that final push to do what we need to do to really finalize what had begun with the new moon. All right. I don't think I want anything else there. All right. Top you up here. And that is your full moon reading. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please go ahead and hit that like button and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. You can check me out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as well, @Shining Empathy. And until next time, everybody, love and light to you all. Bye for now.